Hello, my name is Allison Carmen, and welcome to my podcast, 10 Minutes to Less Suffering. And the name of today's podcast is How Can We Achieve Inner Peace? When most of us think about inner peace, we think about ourselves being in a state where nothing is bothering us. So in a way, inner peace is really an inner freedom. It's an unconditional acceptance of what we are experiencing in the moment. It's easy to find that peace when life is going the way we want it to. And it's much harder to find that peace when things are not going as planned. So the other day, I woke up and I felt peaceful. And all of a sudden, as the calls started coming in, my daughter that's in Europe for the summer had bronchitis. My mother wasn't feeling good. I had a problem at work that I couldn't solve. And all of a sudden, I felt that conflict because I didn't want these things to be happening. And so what I decided to do is I decided to devote my meditation that morning to letting everything be the way it was. And I went through each thing with each breath. I closed my eyes and I took a breath. And I said, I accept that my daughter has bronchitis. I will let it be. I accept this problem I've had at work for a month. I will let it be. I accept my mother's not feeling well today. I will let it be. And I went through all the things that were on my mind that morning. And then I thought of things I've been holding for longer periods of time. And I kept breathing. And I kept accepting. And I kept letting everything be. And as I sat there for 10-15 minutes, when I was done with the meditation, I was at peace. And what was so amazing is that I didn't realize how much I was in conflict with reality. It's very tricky because sometimes it's not at the forefront of our mind. Yet something's on us, something's bothering us. And all that's happening again is that we cannot reconcile our reality with what is actually happening. Acceptance doesn't mean you like it. It's just that's what's happening. In a way, it goes beyond your like and dislike. I think it's Michael Singer who always says, it's like, who are you to argue with the weather? This is what's happening. This is what is before you in your life. And in a way, it doesn't matter whether you like it or not. If you want to have peace, it doesn't mean you're not going to work hard to get out of the situation. It doesn't mean you're not going to care. But it's that resistance that steals our freedom. And yes, like I always say, there are some things that we might choose to give our peace away for. Sometimes your child will be having a problem and you don't care about peace. You just want to help them and you're just worried. And other times, we know that finding that peace, finding that unconditional acceptance for what's happening is the most important thing that we can do. And that is when we feel most alive and most aligned and most clear-headed. That's the irony of it all. After that meditation, I felt more clear to solve my problems. I felt more resilient to face the day. I felt like I had more of me to take care of life. I didn't feel as drained. So in a way, it's like we think that the worry is going to get us to the answer, or the stress is going to get us where we need to go because we're so used to acting like this. And that's simply not true. All unconditional acceptance is looking at what is before you and not arguing with that reality. Again, it's our expectations and our disappointment and our desires that crash into the moment. That's where the conflict arises. But if we say this is what's happening in the moment, I accept this, then we are grounded into what is in front of us and we open up to the moment. We open up to the reality. When you're resisting reality, you kind of turn your back on what's before you. But when you accept it, it's like a flower blooming. And there you are, your most powerful self, ready to have the experience that's in front of you, ready to learn your lessons, ready to find the best solutions to what is in front of you. We don't see that our resistance blocks our success because we don't like what's happening. And we're also saying that this is wrong and life is not going the way it should when we have absolutely no idea what this means for our future. Because life is uncertain And for all we know, this is the beginning we've been waiting for, but we are so busy telling the story of the life that we thought we were going to have, that we, instead of embracing the moment, we are in conflict with the moment. And sometimes we start to become in conflict with our destiny, with our path, because we refuse to accept what's happening. We refuse to claim our peace, and we refuse to open up to what life is offering us in the moment. So inner peace is not just that moment where everything feels right. It's truly the moment where we accept everything as it is. And then we align with life. We become one with the moment. And we become one with everything around us. And we connect with infinite possibilities. But when we're stubborn and we're resisting, we are closing down. And there are so many gifts and so many gorgeous things in the moment, and so many gorgeous things that we are to receive if we could again just open up and receive what this moment is giving us, even if it feels bad and even if it feels uncomfortable. There's a gift to being alive. There's a gift to unconditional acceptance. And there's a gift to touching that point so deep within ourselves that we are waking up to what is, and we are creating the life that we desire in the days to come. So the best way to start feeling that inner peace, to start opening up, is to do this beautiful meditation. It's okay if you do it in the morning. It's okay if you do it in the afternoon or night. And the first thing you do is list the things that you are resisting. It doesn't matter whether you like them or not. If you don't like your boss, or you don't like your job, or someone in your life is sick, or you're upset about something in a relationship, go through each one and say, I accept the fact that I have a problem at work. I accept the fact that it exists. And you put your hand on your heart and you take a really deep breath. And you keep taking slow breaths and holding your heart until you feel peace in your body. And again, it doesn't mean you're not going to solve the problem. In fact, you're going to be a better problem solver because you are not in conflict with the problem. Then you go to your next thought when you feel your body relaxed. I unconditionally accept the fact that this person in my life is sick. And I remember I did this when my mom was sick so many years ago. I had no idea what was going to happen, but I accepted the moment and I was able to really be present for her. You don't have to like it. It doesn't mean you're not going to help them get better. It doesn't mean you're not going to have hope. You're just finding peace with the fact that this is what's happening. And you hold your heart and you keep breathing and you keep saying it again and again. And some things you might not find the peace, but you will relieve some of the things that you are holding in your life. Some will be easy and some will take time. But you go through each thing you're resisting and you keep saying, I unconditionally accept this. And you keep finding the words that allow your body to calm down. You could say things like, I am not in resistance that this problem is happening. I accept that this is a circumstance in my life. I can let it be the way it is. And no matter how long it takes, if it takes 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, if you only get through 2 problems, the less you resist, the more you find unconditional acceptance for everything that's happening in your life, you will find that peace that allows you to be so present in life, to have a deeper life, a more meaningful life, for you to connect with how you really feel, your true self. You will have more clarity, you will have more wisdom, you will have more openness, and you will also connect with the future you really desire because there is nothing blocking you. It's amazing that letting go is really letting in. Because when you let go of the life you thought should be, you let in all the gorgeous things that really want to happen. Because for all we know, maybe the best is yet to come. Thank you for listening to this podcast today. If you'd like to get in touch with me, you could email me at allison@allisoncarmen.com. If you'd like to buy my books, The Gift of Maybe or Year Without Men, They're available at all major bookstores and online retailers. And if you like this podcast, you can subscribe and leave a comment.